Hello and welcome to the Benefit Enrollment Coordination System training. My name is Scott Renton. I am the IT Director at CAPIC, and I will be leading you through this slideshow today. The agenda for this slideshow: first we will show you a quick overview of the BECS system. We'll show you logging in, setting up programs, inputting clients and searching for referrals, sending referrals, receiving referrals, and some other items of interest. First, an overview of what BECS is and what BECS is not. BECS is a marketing system for services. This means that any services that your program, company, church, hospital that they offer can be seen by other agencies that are members of BECS. So your services are marketed to them. It is a searchable database, which means you can go in, you can put in client information, what needs they might have, and you can search across all BECS partners for any agency that might have a program that addresses that need. And it is a referral system, which allows you to send client information from your agency to another agency with a record of that information being sent for both of you to keep track of. What BECS is not, it is not used to transfer confidential information. Things like social security numbers, bank statements, these things should not be transferred in BECS. It is also not a reporting system. Now, while it will keep track of referrals between programs, once that client has been referred to you or has been referred to another program, BECS stops recording what happens to them. So if they become a client, what happens inside your program is confidential to your program alone. This is an overview of the partnership setup process. The main agency, in this case CAPIC, we identify partners, we get them selected, get their name, address, information, website information, other relevant information. We then send that to DHCD, which is the Department of Housing and Community Development. They review the information, they set up the user IDs and the agency IDs in BECS, and they manage the BECS IDs and the emails for you. We then go and give you training, such as this, or on-site training if necessary. You set up your programs, you start doing client intake and do referrals. We tweak the system as necessary to adjust for whatever programs you have, and then we go from there. BECS consists of four main components. Those components are setting up programs, client searches, where you do a client intake and then search for programs for your client, making referrals on behalf of your client, and receiving referrals from other agencies for their clients. Here we can see the login page for BECS. You can see there are three items that need to be entered: your agency, your particular username, and your password. The agency name and username will be provided to you by DHCD through CAPIC once we are set up in the BECS system. Once you're logged in, you'll see a basic menu which shows referrals received, referrals sent, running reports, doing searches and referring for your clients, and of course setting up BECS for your agency. First, we'll take a look at setting up programs in BECS. For each program you have in BECS that other agencies can refer clients to, there are a number of items that need to be completed, such as geography, income levels, program description, and needs addressed. The more accurate and detailed this information is, the better chance that someone searching for a program that addresses one of their clients' needs will be sent to your agency and your program. The first item that's set up when setting up a new program in BECS is the general setup. The general setup has three main components. First is the enabled and disabled outreach. When outreach is enabled, other agencies can search and find your program. When outreach is disabled, other agencies cannot see your program in BECS. Second is outreach between dates. This allows you to specify what dates you can receive clients for a program and what dates you can't. So for instance, if you have a summer camp program, if someone is searching in the middle of December, you can tell BECS don't return this program as a result in the middle of December, since it's a summer program. The third part is the usernames and the emails. In this section, you specify which users and which email addresses will receive emails from the BECS system when someone refers a client to their program. So if you have several different programs, each program has a different person running it, you can specify person A will receive emails when someone's referred to program A, person B when someone's referred to program B, as both programs are in your agency. The next three sections are all geographic sections, where you can include which zip codes, cities, and states your particular program serves. The next section is income levels. In the income levels section, you'll indicate how large a family and what the maximum income of that family entirely is in order for them to qualify for your program if your program has an income limit. Now, as you can see in the slide, there is a drop-down list, and in the drop-down list you can select certain pre-built selections. If your particular program has a pre-built selection or a certain area for income levels or for geographic area, zip codes, or cities served, those lists can be pre-built into the system for you, so you'll have them available for all your programs to set them up more easily. The next item is the program description. Here you can put any information you want about this particular program. You can put HTML in here, you can put images if you have images, you can put tables. The section of BECS has a fully formed HTML editor allowing you to add any web page you want. So if your particular agency has a website page that already has a description, you can take that same HTML, put it into this field, and use it in BECS. The next item in the program setup is needs addressed. This is a critical area. In the needs addressed, you will tell BECS what your program serves in terms of needs for clients. There are a large number of areas of needs that are addressed by BECS. Here, you can see a list of some of the areas that BECS addresses in terms of needs. As you can see, there are a large number of items available. The next section is the How to Apply section. In this section, which is similar to the program description, you can put in information specifically on how to apply to a program. So if, for instance, you have a special requirement, such as a child swimming program, they need to bring immunization info, you can enter that information here so that it is sectioned off and people can see it more easily when they're reading up on the program and deciding whether or not to refer a client to your agency. The next area to set up will be this contact information. Here you can put the contact information for the person who runs the program or the person who specifically does intake for that program, as opposed to your own name and information if you want to make sure that someone who does not necessarily want to be referred to another agency through BECS can still get relevant information on how to apply and who to contact to apply. The next section is the media section. In here you can decide whether or not to add a Facebook share button, so people who bring up your program information can share it on Facebook. You can also add a video from YouTube. If you have a Twitter feed from the Twitter website, you can add that Twitter username here, and it will show that Twitter feed when someone searches and brings up information on your program in BECS. And if you have any sort of blog or RSS reader feed, you can put the address for that in here so people can subscribe to your blog. Finally, once you have completed all these sections for your program, you'll be given a chance to preview the information. The preview page will show you what other agencies will see when they do a search for their clients, and that search returns your program, and they click on your program to see whether or not they should refer their clients to your program. The next section of BECS is doing client searching, where you take your clients, enter their information into BECS, enter whatever particular needs they have, and you search for programs at other agencies that those needs can be filled by. The starting point for doing client searching is at the main menu, where you'll click on BECS, Search and Refer. Once you've clicked on Search and Refer, you'll see a list of clients that you've previously done intake on. If you have a client that's come back for additional help, you can click on their name and it will bring up their information. Here, I've clicked on a client's name and their information has come up. On the left, you can see their client initials, you can see the city, state, and zip code they live in. You can also see what are called flags. The flags indicate areas of concern for the client and items that they may need assistance on. In the center part, you can see the client setup, where the client's information is made available to the person doing the intake. When you're doing an intake for a client, there are two ways to determine what kind of needs that client has that might be addressed by other agencies and other programs. The first is the short assessment, the second, the uniform assessment tool matrices. The short assessment. Short assessment is a series of questions that you can ask the client and answer while the client answers them. As you answer them, you'll see the red flags appear if something shows an area of concern, For instance, if the rent or mortgage on a client's house is more than 50% of their salary. The Uniform Assessment Tool Matrices, on the other hand, is a longer list of questions in which you can look at an issue for your client and answer it on a scale of 1 to 5, 1 being in crisis, 5 being empowered. Once you've completed either the uniform assessment or the short assessment, you can click on Search and go to the Program Search Criteria screen. In this screen, you'll see the flags for your client's initials and address. You'll also see a list of needs that were identified. If you want to add a particular need to your client that wasn't caught by the assessment, you can manually scroll through the lists of needs and click the checkbox to the left of the need that you want to search by. You can also limit your search by geography and income and family size. Once you've performed a search, on the left of the screen you will see potential eligibility. It will tell you the number of programs that the client has met potential eligibility for based on the criteria entered. You can then click on one of the programs, as for example we have clicked on HeartWAP at CAPIC in this slide, and you can see information on the program. You can also see at the top in gray it says the person selected has not previously been referred to HeartWAP. Once you perform the search and you found a particular program that meets a particular client need, you can then move on to the next section of BECS, which is making the referral. From the search results, if you click on Make Referral, you'll see the referral screen appear as you see here. In the referral fields, you'll see the client's contact information, name, phone number, email address. You'll see a comment field where you can add a particular piece of information. You will also see a green box that says Click for Consent Form and a checkbox. This checkbox must be checked before the referral is sent. The checkbox says that you have gotten consent from the client for sending this information to another program. If you need a consent form, one is provided in BECS. From the main BECS menu, you will see the client consent form as an option. If you click on this, the client consent form will be shown on the screen. It will be an Adobe PDF file, so you will need an Adobe Reader program to see and print the form. When a referral is sent, BECS automatically sends 2 email addresses. First, it will send a message to you as the referring agency saying you have sent a referral. You will see who it is to, you will see which particular program it's to, and you will see where it's from. The program that receives the referral will also receive an email. The email will indicate what program the client has been referred to, which agency and program the client has been referred from, and the time of the referral has been sent. So now that you've gone over setting up programs, client searches, and making referrals, we can go to the last section, which is receiving referrals from other agencies. Now, as stated before, when you receive a referral, the first thing you'll get is an email from the BECS system indicating another agency has referred one of their clients to your program. When in BECS, going into referrals received, you'll see a screen similar to this one. You'll see a line that indicates what program the client was sent to, the client's name, where they were sent from, who sent it, and when. You can then edit that referral. You can click the checkbox next to Pick Up when you respond. You can also put an outcome on the referral to let the referring agency know what happened. So for instance, if they were waitlisted, you can select waitlisted. If there wasn't enough contact information on the original referral, you can put in insufficient contact info, or you can say they became a client of your program. So, on a final note with BECS, there is a Massachusetts law 201 CMR 17 which covers the restrictions and security of personal information. And personal information by the law is defined as including someone's name, social security number, bank account number, or other identifying information that could potentially be used to commit financial fraud or identity theft. Now, as you've seen in BECS, nowhere do we collect any of the information such as a social security number or bank account number. This means that BECS doesn't have to follow the rules for 201 CMR 17, but just to reinforce this fact, that you should not include any of that information. Now, if you have any other questions or you need extra help, there is a Google group available for the Revere Faith-Based Task Force that you can go and you can ask questions,
download extra documentation, and we will put up a series of walkthroughs and informational videos such as this one, which will also be available on YouTube at the CAPIC Inc. user channel. And as always, if you have any questions, you can email me at CAPIC, and I'd be happy to answer your questions. Thank you for your time.